Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday evening, and I am live here in the group. And warm welcome to all my new members. Guys, if you can hear me, if you can see me, message so I know. I want to make sure that you can hear me. I am just checking. Right, bear with me. I'm just going to check because I don't know at the moment if I'm going live or not. I can see I'm going live. So guys, if you can, I'm just going to check. Brilliant. Every time I go live, I always get some strange messages. So I'm not too sure if there is an issue with it, or you guys can see me. Say hello, because I could see that three people have logged in. So guys, if you can hear me, if you can see me, say hello. It'll be lovely to see or be able to read your messages in the group. Now, from today, I am thinking of, I've been talking about that. I'm going to start this new series here, which is Back to Basics, because there are many people in the group. I mean, although I've done, many training courses, and in many of my videos, I've gone very deep into different topics and different, aspects of this rent-to-rent strategy. But there are still a lot of people who've joined, and they're still unsure what this strategy is all about. So and I've had a lot of messages as well. People have messaged me directly, and they've said, Sapna, can you please explain what this rent to rent is it ethical? So I'm just going to do like a mini series of back to basics, and and some of the videos will be shorter, but I'm going to go with very basic topics because still people want to know. There are to some people who are already into it, they may not appreciate. They may think, oh, these things, they are very basic. But to some people who are still getting to know or getting used to this strategy, they may still have questions. They may still have, many things they want to talk about, or they want somebody to talk or give their honest opinion on. So those are the type of things I will be covering. Hi Peggy, hi Mahima, hi Sohe. Fantastic. I can see that you're saying you can hear me. Thank you, Peggy. That's fantastic. Hi, Paul. Hi, Alice. Mahima, hope you're keeping well as well. Yes, hi, everybody. Yes, hi, Paul. Yeah, that's great. So, guys, keep it interactive because today it'll be like a back to basics series that I'm starting. And my aim is that I'm going to do a video every day. I mean, there'll not be long videos, but there'll be basic videos, basic topics, which people need to know still before they're getting before they get into this rent to rent strategy. Obviously they need to understand, they need to learn, they may have still questions, and this is your platform where, when I come live, do ask me questions. Thank you for lots of love hearts. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Yeah, so that's amazing. Hi, Yvonne. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. So, first of all, what gives me right to actually talk about this rent to rent strategy? So, people who are, very new to this group may not know, but I started my own rent to rent journey back in 2017. And that was the time when I was looking for, like a career option or something, for my son. And I have my own reason, my own story why I wanted to start, because, I mean, my son, he was diagnosed with autism. So I really needed to look for something, for him. And this gave me This, when I heard about this rent to rent strategy, this gave me some, a light. I thought, okay, this is something maybe I can go into. This will allow me to get into property, and then my son can learn through me. He can watch, people, and if there are any parents in the group, who have children with similar type of problem. I mean, these type of children, they are really gifted, they're very intelligent, but they sometimes, they have their own, only parents can understand that, they have that certain issues, and you feel that, you will be the best teacher for them. And that was my very big reason why I got into rent to rent. So that's how, once I got into rent to rent in 2017, I started, I mean, with a great difficulty, I started my journey in rent to rent. But once I knew what I was doing, I mean, initially I did all sorts of mistakes. I picked wrong tenants, I picked wrong property, I agreed on wrong rent, and anything you could think of, anything, you may be terrified about. But I've done all those mistakes, I've been through all that. But once I knew what I was doing, and I got over all those mistakes and hurdles and everything, I started actually picking deals every single month, because I built really good connection with local investors and agencies, and that really helped me to grow my business. And within 1 year, I was in that position where, I had grown my property to that level where actually I was able to buy my properties, investment properties, in all cash. So in first year, actually, I bought two investment properties, and that's how magical this strategy is. And that is why I really, although now in 4 or 5 years time, I've done, not just done rent to rent, I've done rent to SA, I've done sourcing, I've gone into, buy to let, I've done my BRR strategy as well, I've done lease option. But still, because my journey started with this rent to rent HMO, I do know that how fantastic this strategy is. And that's why I always say, if somebody is looking to get into rent to rent, this is a fantastic strategy. Because I started only 2000, towards the end of 2017. And by 2020, I had quitted my job, because, by the grace of God, I was making enough money where I didn't really need to have my job. Because in fact, going to job was really, it was taking too much time of mine. And I thought, if I spend this time, the time that I'm spending in my office, if I spend that time in my, on my own business, which is my passion, because I absolutely love dealing with properties. And plus, being I was training my son as well alongside, me. So obviously I thought this will give me opportunity to spend more time with my own child, and do my own things and grow my own property business. And if there are people, the only reason I'm sharing this story is not to gain sympathy, but I know that there are mothers like me, there are parents like me, there are people who are in different situation, who may be looking for different, uh, career options for their children, or maybe looking to, even create legacy for their children, or leave something behind for them, or want to create that, security, leave something for them, so they can, they feel reassured that yes, once they've gone, their children will be well looked after, or they'll have enough to, to cover them financially. So, by all means, you can get inspired, and you can start this strategy. So it is a totally genuine strategy. It's But the only thing is, you've got to learn it properly, and you've got to do it properly. Yeah. So basically, sorry guys, forgive me if I'm not looking at your comments or anything, but I will come back to them. So thank you, and I'm really appreciating your love hearts and your likes. It really means a lot to me. So yeah. So number one question: what is this rent to rent? So I know there are people in the group who already know, and quite a lot of my mentees are in the group as well, and they're already doing really, really well. And I'm just so proud of every one of them. But if people are new, so for their sake, I'm going to explain what is rent to rent. So rent to rent is a low investment property strategy, where you don't need to buy a property, but instead of buying a property, you're actually renting a property from a landlord. So you rent a property from a landlord on a long-term basis. So it could be for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or even 10 years. So you're taking a property from a landlord, and you are agreeing on a set rent, so that landlord gets that consistent income. and then you get permission from that landlord, so you are allowed to use that property as a multi-let. Now the way I run is like, if for example I've taken a 5-bed property, although I have agreed on a set rent to pay to my landlord, but then with his permission, because I'm not going to do anything that he's not happy with. So I'll be open and upfront with him, and with his permission, I will have a contract in place, and that contract will give me permission actually to use that property for to use as multi-let. Now, when I'm using it as multi-let for that 5-bed property, I'm going to rent it out to 5 different individuals. So they could be professionals, they could be students, they could be contractors, or even people who are visiting or coming or have come or traveled to the city and or to the town wherever that property is, and for whatever reason, it could be just a short break they are having, it could be any reason. I have had people where they have to take exams, they are doing some kind of exam, so they want to rent my room for 6 months or 3 months. So it could be various reasons. It could be that somebody has sold their property, or they're looking for their long term place to live, but in the meantime they want to stay somewhere and they don't want to rent a full property, so they're just happy to rent out a room. So various reasons. But anyway, once you've taken that 5-bed property, then you would include all the bills in your rent. So just to keep it easy, for example, you've agreed on a rent of £1,000 for a 5-bed property for 5 years. Now, once you've set that property, you would include all the bills like gas, electric, Wi-Fi, cleaning, um, um, TV license, or it could be maintenance as well. So those type of things, water rate, council tax, these type of things, so they're all included in the rent, and then you would rent out each room individually. Now if you are able to rent out those 5 rooms for £500 each, now for you, you will be earning about £2,500, and from that £2,500 you are paying £1,000 back to the, because that's your rent, you agreed to the landlord, so you're paying that £1,000 back to the every month as rent to the landlord. So you're still left with about £1,500. Now out of those £1,500, even if you're paying about £700 for your bills, um, and all the things that you're offering to your tenants, because they rather pay you a flat rate per month, because just to keep it easy, so you're covering everything for them, you're getting your property cleaned on a regular basis as well. And if they're paying you money for it, it's still that £1,500, out of that £1,500, you are taking out 700 for all the bills and everything, all the outgoings, you still left with about £800 net profit. Now that £800 net profit is your income from that property. Now, I've just kept it very easy and simple for you figures wise, so you can understand the strategy. Now, even if you are making £500 net profit from a property that you don't even own, how fantastic is this? Your initial investment will be relatively low because you haven't really bought. All you've done is you actually rented it from a landlord. So you maybe have paid him first month's rent, or you put little bit of money to set it up so it looks nice, it looks attractive, and it looks inviting. Yeah, but once you've got that property, then that means you are making £500 net profit on that just one property. £500 net profit per month means about £6,000 net income just from one property. Now how many properties one needs to replace their income or to meet their income goal? So if somebody is looking to make about £3,000 net profit, then all they need is about 5 or 6 properties, and that's it, and they have replaced their income. And if you are really really ambitious, then maybe you can go all out and you can take about 10 properties. And the beauty of this strategy is that you are once you've taken that property, and once you've got all your initial investment out from it, you are really making infinite profit. So whatever you are making, as far as you are concerned, you're just that's sheer profit just for you. And which other strategy would give you that sort of income? And that is the beauty of it. And I'm talking about larger properties. Now there is another variation to it, where people take smaller apartments or one bed flats, or smaller properties, and they run them as holiday let. That's not what I follow. My strategy is slightly different, because I've been through pandemic, and I've been through lockdown phases and all that, and I've seen all the shady heavy. I've seen all those actually gray areas in that strategy. So it knocked my confidence little bit. So I decided to to wind down that side of the business and just concentrate on the rent to rent HMO and my buy to lets and all that type of business. So if I'm talking about rent to rent buy to let sorry rent to rent strategy, that's why, that is the actual reason why what I've done is, I've made such a actually fast progress in properties, basically, because it's given me so much cash flow, which has then allowed me to buy and invest in my own properties, do my own refurbs, and do other things as well, and get into partnership and do bigger projects as well. So that's the beauty of it. Guys, if you have any question regarding regarding this basic how regarding the basics of this rent to rent strategy, do ask me, because I am very happy to answer any question, because uh, that's something that people sometimes find very hard to digest. They think, does this strategy really exist? Is it is it not illegal? Is it not subletting? Of course it is subletting, but it's not illegal, as long as you are being transparent to the landlord, and you being transparent to the letting agent, wherever the property is coming from, and you're telling them what your intentions are. You're not doing anything illegal in it, in that property. So as long as you're open and honest, there is nothing wrong with it. And the main thing is, it's such a fantastic strategy, because you don't only just make that the solid profit every single month from your properties, but also you learn how to manage tenants. So if you are someone who is in long term looking to get into buy to lets, and want to have loads of properties, or want to build portfolio of properties, then I would still say this is a great strategy, because you get to learn how to manage your tenants, and once you manage tenants in a multi let, then dealing with your tenants in buy to let is so easy. It's so simple and so easy. So definitely, even if you are thinking, oh, I don't really need that extra income on the side, but I would like to learn how to manage my tenants, because that was something I was really terrified about. I really wanted to know how to deal, and I wanted to know all the technicalities. I wanted to know about documents, what I need to give, and all that. And you hear all sorts of horror stories. So I wanted to learn about all those things, and that was my reason as well, that I wanted to see that whether I can deal with all those type of things. And this has given me so much confidence, because now when I'm buying my own properties, I mean, to some people it may not mean a lot, but to me now, I'm in the process of buying my ninth property, which is, to me, in 4 years time, I think I've done well. So uh, and none of my properties get managed by any letting agency, or I don't pay anyone to manage, because I know how to do this better than them, because I know how to check my tenants. I know how to deal with them, how to deal with their queries and all that. And then why should I pay someone 8 or 10% for managing my properties, when I can do a much better job than them? So definitely, so that's another very big plus. So if you are someone, now let's move on to the next topic, that why would somebody, who would suit this strategy? So that would be the next question. So the people who are looking for a career change, if they are sick of their job, they don't like it, or they are struggling to find something suitable, it will definitely, it's something they can consider. And you can start with relatively low investment. So definitely this can be your option if you're looking for a new career, or you're looking for change in career, or if you love properties and you don't know how to get your foot in the door. I would say definitely, uh, get into rent to rent strategy, because this is your way to get your foot in the door. This will actually be a taster for you, and you will know how much you love properties. If you can handle rent to rent, you can handle anything, so that's another thing I would say. If you are someone who loves, doing DIY stuff around the property, you are very good with all that type of stuff, then also I think rent to rent is a great strategy where you can really you can really enjoy doing things, like setting a property, making it look nice. Because I know some people, they thoroughly enjoy. One of my mentees, she's just the whole reason why she wants to get the moment she gets a property, she gets so excited because she just loves transforming properties. She absolutely loves it. So that could be your reason as well, that why you want to get into properties. Or it could be that you are looking to have extra source of income. You are struggling a little bit financially and you're looking for extra source of income. So I would say definitely rent to rent is a great way to start that extra income, which obviously you can then use for whatever reason you're looking to looking to invest that, or whatever reason you, whatever, for whatever reason you need that extra money. Then obviously I would say this is a great strategy. It could be that you have young kids and you want to spend more time with your children. Maybe you need extra time for childcare. That was my reason. I wanted to spend more time with my son, because when I used to go to work, I used to feel so guilty when I used to come home, and because I knew that he needed company. I knew that we had such a good friendship and such good bond, but I used to feel bad that when I'm going, I know that how isolated he would feel. And now, ever since I've quitted my job, I know that I've got that bond again with my son. I've got that relationship back with my child. So it means a lot. So it's not always money, it's also about spending time with your children, with your family. And I think only you can understand as a parent, if you know that your child, or what you need to really provide for your kid. Only as a parent you can understand those things. So definitely it could be that you want to spend more time with your kids, you want that time freedom, then definitely rent to rent is your strategy. Again, rent to SA is a different ball game, different type of strategy, but definitely rent to HMO strategy I use is definitely semi passive. And because I have done it time job as well, when I started this strategy, I was actually doing it alongside my full-time job, working full-time in my job. I used to work on every other weekend as well. So I know how busy I was, and still I managed, to certain extent I did manage with that. So definitely it's something. If you are looking, if you're although you're sick of your full-time job and you want to cut back your hours, you want to spend more time with your family, still, to start off, you can still do it with your full-time job. And then when you feel financially secured, you feel that you have got now stable income coming in, then you can cut your hours back, or you can maybe quit your job if you're brave enough, and you can grow your portfolio even further. So definitely, so in a nutshell, this is a rent to rent strategy. And uh, like I said, it's a fantastic way, to get into property. Guys, if you have any questions, do ask me regarding, and give me ideas about, what type of, when it comes to the basics of, rent to rent, what type of topics would be useful for you guys. I'm more than happy to talk about them, and more than happy to, give you my honest opinion whether it would be a suitable strategy or not. Obviously there are a lot of technicalities which one should always learn before they get into it, but it's always good to know the basics, so you know what yourself, you're getting involved, so you know that it's safe enough, it's good enough strategy or not. uh, Now, also, let me just cover quickly what type of people also. I mean, I think I also didn't talk about what type of people who can get into. So there is another, I mean, I said these are the people who are looking for extra income and all that, but also there may be people who are looking to get into buy to let, but they can't. That was my situation. I wanted to start buying properties because I wanted to secure my child. I wanted to create legacy for him. I wanted to start investing in buy to lets, but that wasn't the option that was available for me at that point. And the reason was that I wasn't hitting all the criterias. Despite having good job and all that, I still wasn't able to get a lender who would lend me for my first buy to let. So it could be that. So maybe you're looking to get into buy to let, but you don't have enough savings yet to be able to buy your first buy to let in all cash. That could be one reason. Or maybe you are able to get your buy to let, but you don't have enough money to pay for 25% deposit even. So you need to save up for that 25%. So it could be that could be the reason. It could be that you have bad credit history for whatever reason, and sometimes people can't help it. So if you are one of those people and you've unfortunately got bad credit history, then obviously you can start off with rent to rent, and then you never know, you may find a property or opportunity through a landlord where you may do some kind of deal and you may end up buying a property. So that could be also another one. Or it could be that you started a business, you are a self-employed person, but you don't have enough you know business history, or you haven't got 3 years uh, accounts to show to become eligible again for your mortgage. So these are different situations or criterias, or I'm talking about different type of people who would suit this rent to rent strategy. So I hope I've given you enough about the basics, what this rent to rent strategy is, where how you use it. It's totally legal, and what type of people would suit this rent to rent strategy basically. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about why would a landlord agree, or what type of landlords would agree on this rent to rent strategy, because many people have this doubt that it's all right for someone to say, but why would a landlord agree on a rent to rent, and why would a landlord agree on lower rent, and which is totally, I can totally understand. It's a valid question basically. I mean, people can ask that, and I totally understand, because like I said, if somebody has never had any struggle renting out their property, why would they? So I will talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow's live, but it will be slightly earlier, so I'm going to do that about 6 o'clock. So I look forward to see you tomorrow around 6 o'clock. Guys, if you have any question, let me know. And thank you very much for your company today. And I'm going to do this, the series of back to basics, on rent to rent. So do drop me questions, do drop me topic ideas as well. I'm very happy to cover them in this back to basics series, because, it's important for people to know what this strategy is all about. And obviously, if you want to learn, then make sure that you learn the strategy properly, you learn all the technicalities, and you need to make sure that you get someone who can handhold you, who can support you with this strategy. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you, Richard. um, take care, everybody. Have a lovely evening, and thank you for your company today. Thank you.